Okay, hopefully everybody can hear me now. I'd say raise your hand, but I can't see you. But our staff, I'm sure, will let me know if things don't go back to not being so good. So I'm not sure where we left off, what you folks heard, but I was asking Jinyoung about congratulating her on this unique storytelling technique, incorporating the history with the graphics and the beautiful music to tell this story that's more than 100 years old. So if Jinyoung, explain how you came up with that concept.
Yeah. So my goal when I was creating this film was to reach as many people as possible with this beautiful story that we have. And I believe that music can do much more things than words itself. And a lot of times, especially when it's performed by beautiful musicians like Chee-Yun and Keola. And our music really adds like emotional depth and universal appeal, whether you speak Korean or English and all that. So I just wanted to have that musical aspect to be the like really key part of this film.
You succeeded. It binds it together. So, Kyola, I want to ask you, can you share your story? Behind being part of this film.
Sure. Jin Young sent me a little kind of video of some of her previous work, along this film, and I was really, it really touched my heart, for several reasons. First of all, there was an elegant simplicity to the music, that I just really loved. For instance, the first scene in the last segment, you have the ocean liner, and the foghorn and the ship moving, and it just really brought me sort of back to that time, 100 years ago, and wondering what an amazing journey that was for those people. And then, the Hawaiian thing is we really revere our ancestors, and being able to share the music, honoring all of our ancestors really meant something to me.
Well,
So
that's great. Oh,
oh,
thank you. And we got some more comments echoing now from Sharon and Matsunaga. What a beautiful film. Thank you so much to PBS Hawaii and all who were part of it. From P. Choi, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Mahalo to Keola for linking with the Asian immigrant story. Chee-Yun, I want to go to you. Your thoughts on being part of this film.
Well, it was such an honor, first of all, to be part of such beautiful project. And for me, as I mentioned in the film too, I think as an immigrant myself, I feel very lucky to have an easier way of living in America and adapting and adjusting. And it's all because of our ancestors and the people who have come here before me and before us and paved such a way. And all their hard work really paved the way for us and for future generations. So for me to be part of such a project was an honor, and I was so grateful to Jin Young to be asking me. And when she had told me about this project from the first episode, I was almost envious of other musicians. So when she asked me, I said, of course. I mean, I've been kind of waiting for her to ask me. So, and to meet Keola, I mean, and it was incredible. I mean, to make music with him and to spend time with him and to visit such an incredibly spiritual and beautiful place as Kalua Papa. And I mean, speechless.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. So for our audience, so I understand there's still some little audio issues, so we'll speak up best we can
sorry.
to. No, that's okay. This is live TV in a sense, and these things happen. Jinyoung, so can you walk us through how you chose the actual musical pieces, that you wanted to run? Was there a story behind each of those? Was something that moved you? Can you share a little bit of that?
Yeah, it's because like music played such an important role in this documentary. It's not just the melody, but so the background of the music, the story of music has to go with the storyline. So for example, even though Danny Boy is not a Hawaiian song, it's about a mom sending off their son to the place that she cannot go with. So I wanted music to be amplifying the story, while it kind of brings more emotions to the audience. And so first of all, I wrote the story from the beginning till the end, and then I talked with Ignace Jiang, who's the not just a performer, but also music director of our film, and also many other composers, to come up with music that's like really beautiful to listen, but also tells its own story.
Wow, very nice. We have another comment here from viewer Robert Pennebacker. My great grandparents arrived to Hawaii from Korea in 1905. Thank you for honoring them with this beautiful film. Yeah, so I have worked with, there's more comments coming in, so we'll get to those as they pop up. Please send them in. We'll get to as many as possible. So Keola and Chee-Yun, have you folks ever done anything like this before? Perform in this kind of, I mean, Keola, you go ahead.
Oh, it was the first time we've worked together, and it was an absolute joy. She is such an amazing creative artist. If I can just respond briefly to Robert Pennebacker's comment, that's kind of why I think we all did this, was to share the amazing journey of our ancestors, and to refresh their memories in our hearts, And so I'm so grateful to be a part of that journey, and what a beautiful opportunity. I'm just a guitar player, and to play with these great violinists, it was a real honor, and I loved every moment of it.
Chee-Yun, how about you?
As I said, I enjoyed every second of it. And the minute I met Keola, I just wanted to hug him. And he's such a celebrity. I was starstruck. And then to hear him, and then he was so kind and so way too humble for who he is. But it also humanized it, and also so inspiring. And I loved it. I had so much fun, and the whole day went by way too fast for me. I could have stayed another 10 hours in Kalaupapa, really. And it didn't bother me that, the wind was blowing and the hair and makeup that I got done, hair was becoming all frizzy again. But it didn't matter, because we were making beautiful music, and we were surrounded by such awesome people. And Jinyoung was working hard. Everybody was giving their 110%. And we were so moved by the place, and it almost felt like the spirits were around us. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it even now.
Yeah.
I could feel it. So
if I can add a little bit,
yes, please.
I agree with Chee-Yun saying that it wasn't, for me, it wasn't just making a film. Before that, it was really to honor these souls who were there before us, whether it's Kalaupapa or Honolulu or Im Moksun's life, and everybody who was there before us. And I had a good feeling when I spoke with Keola initially, because I knew this is gonna be a good project with these amazing people. Because Keola, I don't know if you remember, when I reached out to him, he said, "Okay, Jinyoung, let me think about it. About your offer to be part of your project, but let's have a Zoom, 1 hour Zoom." And I was a little bit nervous, right? Like, what I didn't know what to expect, and I was, listing up the things that I could offer him, like for his time, and like what things that we have prepared and all that. He didn't ask anything like that. He was like, when did you come to Hawaii? Why did you decide to do this? Like, he really wanted to see what my intention is. And I think Keola wanted to be part of it, because he felt that we are genuinely doing this to honor these people. And like Chee-Yun said, when we got into Kalaupapa, restriction was really, really tough. Like, there were only 6 people at a time that we could go in. So we didn't have any assistance, anybody. It was just me, 2 other film crew, and Keola, Iggy, and Chee-Yun. As a musician, you need a lot of assistance, but nobody really complained anything, even though it was so hard. I think it's because we all together there, we understood that we were there to honor those people who came before us. It wasn't just the filmmaking, I think.
That's great. Well, there's another comment here from Gloria Park, who says, what a truly moving film honoring the ancestors and living culture now. Deep gratitude to the makers, artists, and all involved in creating this homage. I want to go to another question here. So, Jinyoung, did you achieve what you set out to do when you started this project?
Oh, much more, I think. Thanks to all the musicians and crew and Chuck Parker, who, we're talking, you corrected all my mistakes with the Hawaiian languages and all that. Like, so it started, my like little hope that I will like love to honor these people. But then along the way, I was able to find so many help, and they were amazing, really like help that I didn't expect to receive. And with all those helping hands, according to Keola, we came like this far, I think. Yeah, it's just really my honor to come and talk about the film right now with all of you through PBS Hawaii. This is not something that I imagined.
Well, I want to ask, oh, go ahead, Keola, sorry.
I'm sorry, I was going to say what Jinyoung was referring to is, there's kind of a belief that I have that the projects that need to be in the world, are kind of supported by these unseen hands.
Yeah.
And the whole way through, I felt that this project was supported by the unseen hands of our ancestors, And so that gives me chicken skin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so sweet of you, Keola. Yeah. Like first time when I took this project before we really completed the editing, because I had like short of funding to finish the product, and I got some help, like big contribution from one mainland individual, and I called Keola, I had a good news. I got this help and I can finally complete the film, with editing and all that. And that's what when Keola says, I can feel, I know that people are like they're helping, unseen helping hands in this project. So we're doing well. It was very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
We have a question from a viewer want to share. I guess this is for you, Jinyoung. How difficult was it to find the archival material used in the film?
Yeah, that part also a lot of people helped, and that was the most important part for me to get onto before we get into the actual filming, because I had to make sure that we have good enough archival images to tell a story before we bring these musicians in. And it wasn't easy, but it was a really fascinating process. Most of the photos were given by like a Center for Korean Studies at UH or a Center for Korean Studies in California. Like there's so many organizations and academia who were willing to share their work as we were creating this documentary. And also I got huge help from Hawaii State Archives as well, and also Bishop Museum and other museum and galleries. And you'll be surprised like how many beautiful like archival images there are not out there yet, slipping in the gallery. And I just feel so grateful for all those people who share their work, and museums and galleries who let me use the archival images.
I think we shouldn't underrate the effort though you made to find it. Yeah, those facilities you mentioned had those photos, and thankfully they did, but you still had to approach them, talk with them, go through them, and look and find these things, and then curate them into the film. So I think that I mean, don't understate what your effort in all of this.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also want to go back and not correct, but just the Keola earlier said he's just a guitarist. No, he's not just a guitarist. This is a guitar master, and we need to acknowledge that, over the years. Yeah. Another comment here from Charles Bowler, very special film, wonderfully produced, so deeply moving. Korean immigrants are such a significant part of Hawaii's unique, vibrant ethnic mix. So important to honor them this way. Another comment from Jackie Hong. Yes, my maternal grandfather came on first ship from Korea. He was from Pyongyang. He worked on plantation in South Kona, met and married a woman from Portugal, and they had several children. So an example of the ethnic mix we have, the wonderful ethnic mix we have here in Hawaii. I'm going to mispronounce this word, but I'm going to try it. Gloria Park again. What an auspicious timing for sharing this film by PBS Hawaii. Today is Chuk Harvest Moon. I hope I said that right. Gloria.
Chuseok.
Chuseok, thank you. That's glad we have people here who know what they're saying. That's excellent. So I wanted to ask the panel, and this may be a difficult question. I don't mean to put anybody on the spot, but is there one part of the production of the film that resonates with you? You know, if I had to say, okay, give me one moment, what would you say? Chee-Yun, let's start with you.
Oh my gosh, you put me
Sorry,
on the spot.
you're at the top of my list here. Okay.
Well, you know, actually, when we got together before the actual panel discussion started on the air, and you stopped me. You said, "Don't ask that question yet." I mean, for me, was when I was watching the film, and I thought, how did Jinyoung come up with this idea of putting the beautiful music together with telling the story? Because, you know, I do love watching historical documentaries as well, but putting the music and then telling the story, I have not seen that. And the selection of music and how it became, you know, ending it with Aloe at the end of it, and celebrating, eventually celebrating, and also being grateful to our ancestors and paving the way for them, for us. But also telling it with the music. And I just, for me, that was like the most incredible realization and moving part of the film. And that will stay with me forever. And I want to watch it again. Oh. And I want to listen to all the music again. And yeah, it was really deeply moving.
Keola, was there a moment that stands out for you?
Well, several moments. I just being in Kalaupapa. Oh my goodness, I hadn't been there in so many years. And when I was a young man, we went over fishing, and some of the guys from the colony dropped us off. Oh. You know, and we spent the weekend and fished and everything. And I remember those experiences, and I remember playing music there once with my family many years ago. Just the joy of being in that community was so special, and the moments we had to interact with the people that were there really meant a lot to me. So I love that part too.
Yeah, excellent. Jinyoung.
That's awesome, Keola.
And I realize as a filmmaker, there may not be just one moment, but I'm just, you know, if there's something that comes to mind.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. It's a hard question because there are so many moments that I would like to share. But if I can talk about a little bit of my personal story, I moved to Hawaii when I was 25 years old, and the beginning years, like several years, were not that easy for me. Even though I was the one who wanted to move to Hawaii for its beautiful landscape, I missed the home. You know, I couldn't find my place in Hawaii as I did in Korea. And when I got to discover this story that happened like 100 years ago, when I saw this, like in Moksun, the part 2, when I see this lady, how she lived her new life in Hawaii, how she settled in a place that's new to her, but she made her own, you know, beautiful family and community. And also seeing these people who were taken to Kalaupapa. Like one of the Koreans who we featured was a guy who was taken there, even though he didn't have a leprosy. But they formed their own community, you know, in a new land, and it really gave me hope and courage that I can live well in this new land. To me, there's 100 years of differences, but still, I really felt close to all these people in history. And that's why, to me, it wasn't like researching or anything. When you were talking about how I went into these different archival images, I just loved it. Like time went by so quickly when I was seeing these people. So yeah, maybe that's the one thing I could share, that why this project was so special to me.
Beautiful story. Thank you.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit, Jinyoung, about the title of the film, Songs of Love from Hawaii? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I think if there's one word that represents our history, the 121 years of the history that we had, is the love. I think people were able to advance through 120 years because of the love that they had, the love that they had for their children, the love they have their family, for their homeland, and the love that they had for their own community, like Kalaupapa. And that's what, advanced our history. And so I wanted our music to be the tribute to those who came before us, but also kind of symbolic, like messages that I want us to carry on to the next generation.
No, that's beautiful too. I understand that there's a national release in Korea
Yeah.
in the works. Well, congratulations on that. Can you talk a little bit about that, and how that came about?
Yeah, thank you very much. It came out because of the beautiful story that Gary, contributed, and because of the beautiful music Chee-Yun, Keola, and Iggy, and Richard performed for us. When I reached out to theaters in Korea, I didn't expect they were accepted, because documentary is not an easy genre to get the theater release in Korea, just like anywhere else nowadays. But the programmers of the theaters, said that it's just such a beautiful story, and they think that Koreans in Korea will find it beautiful and inspiring. So we'll have it nationwide theater release in October 30th, and I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
Congratulations. Well, that actually goes to this great comment from Caitlin Crowan. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Very moving, simply told, a compelling mix of formats and beautiful music performed live and on location. Bravo. Couldn't have said it better. I need that person as a writer for me. One of you mentioned it earlier, and I don't remember exactly who, but we'll talk a little bit just briefly, because we're getting toward the end here. The importance of making and sharing documentaries like this, especially documenting these histories. What their role is, for the future generations, or even people now who didn't know the history. Anybody can jump in.
Well, it's important to pass these things on to the next generation, because it gives them a better context of their own lives, right? Where their people came from, and what life was like back then, and maybe help them navigate this life with trying to learn some lessons from the past, So I'm grateful to be a small part of Jinyoung's vision there, and I hope she continues with her work. Beautiful direction and artistry. I can't wait to see what she's got planned next.
Beautifully said. I agree. And I think anytime that you could start anything from the place of gratitude is wonderful. And if we could teach our future generation also that, these things, wonderful things are happening for you because of what others have done for you in the past. And, that will inspire them, as it has inspired us to do better and to work hard. And so, I think these documentaries could be so inspiring, and I think people could do better with, inspiration is like food for souls, isn't it?
Sweet. Chuck, could I mention one more thing?
Yes, please.
Well, it's the Hawaiian thought sometimes is, when we feel alone, we try to remember those that came before us, right? Each one of us in this world has thousands of ancestors, and each one of them had to love each other and get together before we came into the world. And so each one of us is the product of the love of thousands. And I think this film helps us realize that.
That's such a beautiful way to say it, Keola. And I do believe that, when we learn about the past through documentary and other art form, it really helps us stay humble. And it's a great reminder that we too also have a responsibility to contribute by, living with purpose for the future generation.
Right on.
Yeah, well said. Another comment here, Sue Crystal Kim, Hawaii Island, a place where multicultural immigrants live together in the aloha spirit.
Mm.
We have a fine collection of writers contributing today. I think we
Yeah.
have to sign them up for
Artists.
yeah, for some future screenings. So thank you all for contributing. Jinyoung, Keola mentioned earlier he would like to see what else you project. Is there another project in the works?
Yeah, so my focus now is in sharing songs of love with many other audiences. We're going to Washington, D.C. and Atlanta next month, and we're just trying to find ways to share songs of love currently. But starting next year, I would love to explore ways to tell other continent story, like songs of love from Osaka, songs of love from California, songs of love from Russia. You know, diaspora story is very universal, you know, not just from Korean as you know, Korean point, but other ethnic group as well. So I can't wait to explore more stories.
Well, I'm going to begin studying the balalaika. So, you know, when you're ready with your Russian thing, you know, give me a call.
Yeah.
No shortage of ambition. That sounds
Yeah,
fascinating. All of that, excellent.
That's gonna be really awesome.
So I'm going to just go around the room, so to speak, and ask each of you for final thoughts. I will start with you, Chee-Yun. Your final thoughts on, you know, the film, your participation in the film, what we've done this afternoon.
Well, I just wanted to thank you, Chuck, and all the audience members out there. And this has been a great opportunity, great experience, and wonderful opportunity to be sharing this panel discussion with Jinyoung and Keola. And thanks for tuning in, and give lots of love to Songs of Love from Hawaii. And thank you again for ongoing support. And PBS is wonderful platform for everybody, and I've been enjoying it, and I learned so much from watching wonderful documentaries, and so it's such a great honor, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Keola.
Yeah, if I could say, so appreciative of PBS Hawaiʻi, not just for this film, but for all you guys have done for all those years, the films of my mom and my family, and Hawaii, you know, all the great Namele stuff over the years. Really, you've contributed so much to keeping Hawaii, you know, uniquely our stories, the stories of the people of Hawaii. Who does that but you guys? Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be a part of PBS Ohana and a part of this film. Mahalo.
Our pleasure. Jinyoung, any final thoughts?
Yeah, and thank you everyone who listened to us and who watched our film, you know, from around the world, first of all, and also again to Chuck Parker, who guided me through all this process of correcting the, you know, mistakes of my like language problems in at Songs of Love, and to came this far. It's just unbelievable for me. And Chee-Yun is someone who I grew up with, you know, really looking up to her. She was already so famous when I was like 9 years old. I was playing the cello to become a cellist. I couldn't, you know, make it, but like to be able to create a film with Chee-Yun is just my dream come true, really. And
I love you.
To tell a beautiful history that we have, not just Korean history, but the Hawaiian history as part of Korean history. With someone like Chee-Yun and Keola Beamer with, you know, such beautiful heart. And also I know that Iggy Chang and Gary and Richard O'Neill and all my crews might be watching today. Without their contribution, I couldn't have done anything like this. So I really like to thank everybody, and I promise that I will continue my journey to tell a beautiful story like this for the future generation. Thank you so much, everyone.
Well, thank you. We're all better for your efforts too. Really appreciate it. So this concludes our panel discussion for today. Thank you all for spending this afternoon with us. Thank you for sending in the questions. Sorry we couldn't get to all of them. PBS Hawaiʻi will be sending a audience survey through email to those of you who were with us today. It just helps us your feedback helps us continue to improve our screenings. So everyone, please offer your insight and your feedback. Again, this episode, this wonderful film, Songs of Love from Hawaii, premieres on broadcast on PBS Hawaii Thursday, September 26th, 8:30 p.m. And then it can also be seen on our website at pbshawaii.org for a 2-week run following the premiere broadcast. On behalf of me, our panelists in PBS Hawaii, mahalo and aloha.
Mahalo.